Happy Saturday, folks, or greetings whenever you're joining us. My name's Caitlin. This is Comeback Yoga's Level 2 Saturday morning class, and today we are continuing our focus on choice and agency. And today's practice is all about trusting in your strength. Trust my strength. So the poses will be difficult, and you've got it. Just remember that this is your practice. Take what you need, leave what you don't. If you have blocks, grab them, and if you don't sweat it. We will get started on our mats. You might want to start standing. You might want to start seated. I will let you know when we really need to move to standing, but if this morning or this practice you're like, I'm gonna start seated, go for it. This is yours. So, wherever you are, really arrive. Take a few breaths. Notice that this is time that you've set aside for yourself. Everything that was with you before you got here, all that you need will be there after you leave here. Allow yourself to be, to settle for this time that we've set aside. From there, you might start to notice your breath without any judgment, no good, no bad. Just what is. Is there a sound to your breath? Is it moving parts of your body? Is there a certain temperature or place on your face where you feel your breath? And from here, if you're ready to move on, we'll take our grounding breaths. So we're going to start with our hands in front of us, palms facing forward. It's okay if you're seated in a comfortable seat. Same thing. We're going to just keep our palms facing forward. And for the length of our inhale, we're going to extend the palms away from one another, like we're creating space for that inhale. When you're ready to exhale, we're going to bring the elbows in, palms flip open, drawing the arms in towards the ribs. When you're ready to inhale, open through the sides, reaching through the sides, and then maybe your hands come to touch, maybe they don't come to touch, that's okay. When you're ready to exhale, send them down. Moving here with your breath. So it might help to close your eyes or soften your gaze once you have this down. So you're not moving with my breath. Really noticing when you're ready to move, when you're ready to breathe. As you breathe, as you move, you might notice sensations in the body, in the hands as they move, alongside the palms or the fingers, the arms, the shoulders. You might choose, if you're standing, to bring a bend into your knees as you inhale and exhale, like this. And if you're seated, you might bring some other movement that feels good. Remember that if you don't notice any sensations, if nothing's really coming out to you, that's just as complete, just as good. Moving at your pace. We'll take 2 more rounds. Really great. From here, let's find some shoulder circles or just shrugs. movement in your shoulders. And maybe the circles are moving together if you chose circles. Maybe one circle is moving and then the other shoulder follows. I find that I get a little bit more movement in my fascia when this happens. And if you took something in one direction, let's switch directions. Noticing what's there. Checking in with the jaw, checking in with the column of the neck, the shoulder blades, the upper back, the arms, the jaw, muscles of the face. Did I say jaw a million times yet? Check in with your jaw. From here, maybe you move your neck, pointing your chin or your nose in one direction and then the other. Warming up the upper body. So great. Okay, once you feel nice and loose in the shoulders and the neck, we will come to a standing position if you're not already there. We're going to take side bends, but they're going to be a little different this time. So let's find a wide-legged stance. So take your time getting there. And let's talk about the feet, because our feet are going to be really foundational throughout this practice. Right now, my feet are pretty parallel to one another, like the insides of the feet, the toes are pretty parallel. And that's what's comfortable for me. It might feel better for you as we move to adjust your feet. So pay attention to yourself and how you feel, what's going on, not just with the feet, but with the knees, right? The joints that follow, the knees and the hips, and make adjustments as you need. So from here, we're going to take our side bends. I'm going to reach my right hand high. Maybe you reach your right hand high and then to the side, or maybe as you extend your right hand, your side body extends and you reach towards like the corner of the left side of the room where it meets the wall. The wall meets the ceiling. Your left hand might be on your hip, might be just down. And then we're going to bring our right hand down and do the same on the left side. So for whatever you chose, maybe it's one fluid movement, maybe it's a reach and then a side bend. When you're ready, left hand comes down. So we're going to take that for a few stretches, really thinking about waking up the side body. Again, you might bring a knee bend into here. If you feel tightness in the hips or knees, you might start from your foundation and adjust. As we extend and then come back, notice if you strengthen the core by kind of knitting the ribs together or thinking about sucking in the lower belly, how does that support the stretch in the side body? Okay, friends, trust your strength. We're waking up. Can we have this sensation of this long line of energy from the tips of our fingertips all the way down the side body to the smallest toe edge of the opposite foot. Okay, let's take 2 more on each side, or even out for yourself at your pace. Maybe you're moving with your breath, maybe you're not. Really nice. Again, keeping that movement intentional. From here, I'm going to bring a bend into my right knee. So my feet are going to stay the same. Again, adjust how they're situated with one another if you need. But I'm going to bend my right knee. You decide how deep you bend. And my left leg is going to stay straight. So we're going to come into this kind of side lunge. Your arms might be like mine, hands to chest. They might still be at your hips. You can lift your arms if you want to challenge. Side lunge here for, let's take 2 more breaths. Remember, you can pulse, move in and out of it. Remember, this is your practice. Okay. From here, all of the toes are going to point towards the right side of the mat, the right short side of the mat. So I'm first going to start by coming up onto my right heel and then pointing my right toes towards the right side of the mat. And then I'm going to pop up my left toes, pointing them forward. I'm going to send my left hip forward, my right hip back. There's still a bend in the right knee. From here, crescent lunge, hands come high, or they can always come to heart center, extending the elbows wide, shoulders draw back and down towards one another. So really strong. And the legs here, checking in with the foundation. Your left heel might be floating, or as you check in with your foundation, you might adjust and plant the left toes so they're pointing a little bit out to the side. That's totally fine. Your practice, friends. You got it. From here, we're going to open up to warrior two. So the back heel is going to come down, the left heel. The left toes point out to the long side of the mat. I'm going to tee out my hands, and now my shoulders are back over my hips. There's still a bend in my right knee, and maybe you look over your right fingertips. Shoulders draw in towards one another and down away from the ears towards the spine. Think about engaging the core. When you're ready, we're going to drop the hands down and find our side lunge again. So I'm going to come onto the right heel, right toes float, and then find the parallel wide stance or the wide stance that fits for you. Bend into the right knee. You decide how deep you bend. For 4 breaths. Maybe you pulse up and down, or pulse down and down. Tiny up pulse, tiny down pulse. Okay, we're going to lift up into our wide-legged stance and take it on the opposite side. So side lunge to the left, right leg stays long. 4 breaths here. Maybe you're pulsing, maybe you're lifting and straightening, and then bending again. Keep that engagement in the core to support you. You're going to straighten the left leg, find your crescent lunge. Maybe you move with the left foot first, putting left toes towards the short left side of the mat. Right toes follow or adjust as they need. Crescent lunge. Sending the left hip forward, left hip back, right hip forward this time. Wherever your hands are, your shoulders are still drawing away from your ears and towards one another, really feeling wide in the clavicles. Such a good stretch. I know your legs are working. When you're ready, warrior two. Back heel comes down. Think about lifting through the abdominals to find some length in the spine. Allow that length to build from the foundation all the way up to float the hands high. Notice your shoulders. Notice your core. Put it all together and notice your strength. From here, we'll drop the arms, side lunge to the left. So float on the left, float the left toes on the left heel, find your wide-legged stance, bend into the left knee. You decide how deep you bend. Notice the strength in the core, that we're energetically lifting our upper body away from the ground, away from the bent thigh in front of us. It's okay if they touch, that's fine, but you want to keep this engagement, long spine, engaged core. You're so strong from here, wide-legged stance, you got it. We're going to rotate towards the right side of the mat here with our right foot. Left foot might step forward a little bit, maybe. You find like a 45-degree angle on the left foot, give it a try, and go from there. Because what we're going to do is send the left hip forward towards, our new forward, towards the right short edge of the mat. Maybe this is where you find your blocks, if you have them. We will bring them to frame the right foot. Our right leg is straight for a pyramid pose. So again, we really want to engage the abdomen, muscles here in the core. As we hinge from the hips, you might send the hands back, really again opening through the clavicles, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another and reaching the fingers back. If that's too intense, you can always fold, thinking about keeping a flat back as much as possible, bringing your hands to the blocks or a water bottle in front of you to bring the mat to you. Yogi's choice here. This is our pyramid pose. So really deep stretch in the spine, the backs of the legs, hips. Notice the stretch. Notice the strength and the foundation you have holding this pose, holding this stretch. Adjust as you need. That strength is still there. Beautiful. From here, crescent lunge. So bend in the right knee. All the toes point forward. Maybe your hands lift or they come to center. When you're ready, warrior two. Just keeping that bend in the right knee, finding your foundation in the left leg, lifting from center, floating the hands. We're going to reverse the warrior, flip the right palms, send the right palm, just the one, up, and the left palm might come down, it might come to the hip. Think about reaching in through that right side body that we've already woken up. Let it extend. Breathe. From here, we'll find our triangle pose. So I'm going to straighten my right foot. My right hand is going to reach towards the short end of the mat, bringing my shoulders with them. Right arm finds right leg. Left shoulder draws back, really opening through the chest. Maybe the left hand comes high. Maybe it comes to the hip. Triangle pose. 3 breaths here. Of course, you can always find your block if you want a deeper triangle. Anywhere in between. Then we'll find our wide-legged forward fold. Remember what we talked about with the feet. Maybe you want your heels in, toes out. Maybe you want your feet parallel. Just notice what you need as we bring a tiny bend in the knees and then hinge from the hips, sending them back and the abdomen forward. You might grab your block, bringing the mat to you. If you don't want your head underneath your heart, you can keep your back straight and just tuck your head like this. Allow it to be heavy, finding that extension in the top of the spine. Wherever you are, find something to let go of, something to settle. Find some ease. This might be a really deep, intense stretch. Is there strength in your breath? Maybe from here you find a twist, planting the right palm, and then sending the right shoulder down, lifting the left shoulder up, left hand might lift. Same thing if we're standing, we could just find a twist here. The left hand doesn't have to extend. We can keep that extension in the shoulder, maybe bring the left hand to the hip. Gaze follows over the left shoulder. So there's a little bit of a stretch in the neck here as well. Adjust as you need. Then we'll switch our twist. Left hand plants, left shoulder points down, right shoulder lifts. Think about stacking those shoulders. Maybe from here you extend the hands. Maybe you stay focusing on this shoulder, really opening through the chest, still keeping a flat back, noticing the core supporting you. Gaze lifts past the right shoulder. So strong. When you're ready, you might bring the blocks over towards the left foot, and we're going to take our pyramid on the left side. So straighten, come up with that bended knee, lift the head over the hips. If it was below, we'll bring our left toes to point towards the left short edge of the mat, and then the right foot might step forward a little bit and find a 45-degree angle. Anything in between, allow the right hip to point towards the side of the mat that the left toes are pointing at. Left hip comes back. Left leg is straight, pyramid pose. Maybe you find this extension in the arms, opening through the clavicles, and then bowing down from the hips. And you have this kind of tension in the hands and in the abdomen supporting the upper body, or maybe you find your blocks and support the upper body with the hands to the blocks. Wherever you are, you still want to keep this intention that the abdomen is lifting away from the left leg. Long stretch in the spine, the hips, the backs of the legs. Noticing your strength is in your foundation. Maybe it's in your breath. A lot of it is in your mind, your resilience. It's all yours. When you're ready, crescent lunge. Move with intention. Take your time. And then arrive. Settle in. Notice the parts that are hard. Yes. Yeah, the parts that are working, keeping this strong foundation. And notice the parts that are great or feel really good. Both can exist. When you're ready, warrior two. Back heel comes down, that's our right heel now. Still a bend in the left knee. You know where you're going. Notice. Reverse the warrior, dropping the right hand down, left palm flips and lifts. Finding openness, stretch in the left side body, letting it be light, letting it breathe. From here, triangle pose, a few breaths, sending the hips back towards the right side, floating the left shoulders forward, left arm finds left leg, right shoulder comes back, right hand left side, or comes to your hip. You can always bring your block, find your triangle. For 2 more breaths. All right, friends, from here, wide-legged forward fold, or your forward fold. Adjust as you need. Maybe you find your block. Allow the head to be heavy. And once you've found your pose, on an exhale, allow the shoulders to draw away from the ears. Let something go. This might be a deep, intense stretch. This might feel really good. Just notice. When you're ready, bend the knees, bring the head back over the hips if it wasn't already. Grab your blocks. We're going to send them to the right side now for our pyramid pose if you have your blocks. We're going to repeat that again, just a minor change. You'll know when it's coming. So follow what you need. Pyramid pose to the right. So we're pointing the right toes, step the left foot forward, perhaps. Left hip comes left hip comes forward, right hip comes back. Find your fold, pyramid. When you're ready to move on, crescent lunge. Bend in the right knee. Left heel feels light. When you're ready, warrior two. Notice what's coming up for you. Maybe in your body or maybe it's in your thoughts. Just accepting what is here for you on your mats. We'll reverse the warrior. Breathing into the right side body, allowing the muscles of the core to support this bend in the abdomen. Triangle pose, hips comes back, shoulders come forward. For 2. Take your wide standing stance, and then we'll find our star pose. So this is the only difference. We're just opening up the arms, getting as big as we possibly can, taking up as much space as we can, rooting down into the feet, the sides of the feet, and then really extending the hands, reaching through the crown of the head, thinking about a long spine. So there's space in the side body, there's space in the front body and the back body. And then when you're ready, pyramid to the back. Pay attention, move with intention in your feet. Set it up. Last pyramid. When you're ready to move on, you feel even on the side, find your crescent lunge. Moving with intention as we lift that left heel, pointing the left toes forward. Notice your hips, notice your abdomen, your shoulders, your fingertips, your foundation. Warrior 2, opening up, settling, finding what's there. Reverse your warrior. And triangle. For 3 breaths. Yeah, you got it. Okay, wide-legged stance. Get there as you're ready, and then take your star pose one more time, taking up as much space as you can, getting really big. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. One more time, just like that. All right, friends, you have made it. It's peak pose time, and our peak pose is goddess pose. So check in with your wide-legged stance. You might want your knees pointing out this time. So heels in, toes out. Give that a try. Notice that it's going to change your balance. Make it a little more narrow. And we'll adjust as we need. But check in with the foundation. Maybe your toes are gripping the mat, your heels are pressing in. As you do, you might notice your knees ready to bend. Bend your knees as deep as you like. Adjust your feet as you need to balance. Think about pointing the tailbone for the mat. And then maybe you bring your hands to center. Maybe you find your hands on your hips. Maybe your hands come high, or cactus. So totally up to you here where your hands are. Totally up to you how deep you bend your knees. Maybe you're staying in your pose here, your horse pose or goddess pose. Maybe you're inhaling to lift and exhaling, sink down. We'll be here for 8 more breaths. You are strong. For 5. For 4. Remember, you can move. You can challenge yourself for 2. For 1. Star pose. Let everything straighten and extend. So proud of you, friends. So strong. From here, we'll find our downward facing dog. So look to one foot. Adjust so that all of your toes are pointing towards the side of that one foot. Bend from your hips. Frame the foot that you've chosen, the front foot now, with your hands, and then step that foot back to meet the other. Find your downward facing dog. Send your chest towards the tops of your thighs. Of course, you can always find tabletop here. Yeah, you got it. This might be a space where you're coming back to your breath, and this might be a challenging space. Both are good. When you're ready, we'll come into cobra pose. So I'm going to bring my knees down. I'm going to flip my toes so the tops of the toes are pressing into the mat. And then I'm going to bring my front body or my belly forward, resting the thighs on the mat and keeping my arms extended. If you need to bend the elbows, that's totally fine. You can come into a baby cobra, anywhere in between. Just finding a little bit of an extension in the front body. Still using the engagement and the strength in our legs to support this pretty intense bend. So adjust as you need for 2 more breaths. Yes, you got it. Okay, from here we're going to flip to our backs. So get there however you like. Oh. Have a little bit of a level 2 moment for us here. So we're going to find our reclined figure 4. I'm going to start by crossing my right ankle over the left thigh. So the right knee comes wide. We're going to take some crunches. You got this. You are strong. Maybe your hands are behind your head here, supporting it, or maybe they're in front of you. Maybe they're reaching. Doesn't matter. We're going to lift the upper body, so the head, neck, shoulders, sending the core up, and then exhale, let it come down. Okay, just 5 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. Or breathe on your own. Whatever feels good. You're like, this doesn't feel good. You're so strong. You got this. 2 more. And 1. And if this wasn't your first rodeo, you know we got to do the other side. So we're going to cross the left ankle over the right thigh now and take our 6 on this side. Our core has done so much to support our practice here. Move it in a new way. For 2. For 1. Oh, you did it, friends. Okay, from here, we're going to take a forward fold. So we're going to bring our head over our hips. So lift the head. I'm going to extend my legs long. You can still keep your feet planted and keep a bend in your knees as we fold forward. That's totally fine. It's up to you. Take the forward fold that is calling to you. Send your chest towards your toes and allow the head to be heavy. Notice the hips. Notice the core, the shoulders, the fingertips, the feet. Beautiful. When you're ready, we will come to lie on our backs. Find the mat with the shoulder blades. Oh, let them be heavy. And then I'm going to keep my left leg extended. As my right knee comes in, I'm going to hug my right leg. So maybe your hands are behind your thigh, maybe they're around your shin. All good stuff either way. You want to keep your shoulders resting as much as possible. So if your hands aren't reaching your leg, that's totally fine. You can still keep that intention in your leg, or even grab a towel and use the towel to send your leg up towards your right armpit. Still pressing your left leg into the mat as much as possible, pointing all the toes for the ceiling. Breathing here. Breathing all the time, not just here. And since we're here, let's take a supine twist and send the right knee over the left leg, stacking the right hip over left. You might tee out your hands or goalpost your arms. Knocking stuff over. Okay. You might look over your right shoulder to deepen the twist. Can you notice your feet, your legs, your hips, your core, the shoulders, the fingers? As you do, what do you want for those things, those spaces, those parts of you? It might be a release of tension, it might be gratitude, it might be ease. Notice and send those things there, if you so choose. You're in charge. When you're ready, we'll brace the core, bring the right hip back down to the mat. Oh, extend the right leg long. Really press the right leg into the mat. So right thigh, right calf is really pressing down on the right heel. Right toes are reaching for the sky as we send the left knee forward towards the left armpit. As much as possible, really allowing the upper body to rest. Noticing this push-pull in our legs. Pushing of the right foot down, pulling the left leg up. Bringing attention to those opposites. As you're ready, find your supine twist on this side. So we'll stack the left hip over the right. You might tee out the hands or goalpost the arms and look over the left shoulder to deepen the stretch. Think about keeping the left shoulder blade on the mat. So adjust the legs as you need so that you can really rest the upper body. This is a great practice to find what is, to be okay with what meets you here. A lot of times I know we want to find kind of a satisfying crack or a reset in the spine and the supine twist. But we don't ever want to force that reset, right? So maybe it's there if that's what you want, and maybe something else is there. But I always love that kind of acceptance I can find here. Just letting it be what it is, checking in with the spine, being as kind as I can to that frame of my body. Sending all that you need to the spaces that are kind of resting here in this bit of a passive stretch. When you feel even on this side or you're ready to move on, we will bring the left hip back down to the mat and then find one last pose. I like to end by resetting my spine. Not that you need that your spine is out of set, but it just feels good for me to bring my knees into center and really hug them in. Maybe that feels good for you. Maybe you just want to rest the hips down and make knee circles, or maybe you take windshield wipers. Find what feels right. Find what your body is needing in this moment. And then we'll take our last pose. Yogi's choice. Maybe your legs and arms are extended long, resting on your back. Maybe you're resting on one side or the other. Some people like to take their last rest in a seat. Find your body in a shape that feels right and good for you. For a few moments of rest, I will take that silently and then I will bring us together to close us out together. So don't worry that I'm going to fall asleep and leave you here. For a few moments, settle in. Start to deepen your breath. Bringing some movement into the fingers, the toes, the wrists, the ankles, maybe the shoulders, neck. You might find a good morning stretch or a stretch that your body needs. And then slowly and with intention, if you're not already there, we'll make our way to a comfortable seat to close out our practice together. Remembering this is yours. If you want to just hang out and rest, go for it. You don't have to earn that thing. It's all you. And bring our hands together often when we finish yoga. I like to close my hands together like this, but rub them to create some heat, some warmth. And keep that in your hands. I stack it over my heart. You're important already, and you always were. Your presence is treasured. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you for sharing your practice with me, and thank you for creating this time for yourself. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care.